businesses to grow, you need talent. And we are facing an aging industry in the commercial real estate industry, especially on the brokerage side. And we started looking at who our recruits were, and we were having trouble recruiting millennials. And this was one of the things that sparked us to think, what are the obstacles here? Why is this different? And also, we hadn't recruited young people, millennials, for the 5 years of the recession. During that whole time period, from 2008 to 2013, nobody went into commercial real estate. So we have this big gap. And we were fearing that there was going to be a brain drain. So we wanted to find out what were the obstacles that millennials had to joining commercial real estate firms, specifically on the brokerage side. We were getting pushback from millennials about joining our industry. We were getting lack of interest, lack of understanding, other reasons for why they couldn't take commission jobs. So we searched for other research on commission jobs and we didn't find it, so we launched this survey. And some of the lessons we've learned are that we need to pitch the industry differently. We need to make it a more open network. We need to explain to people what we are. I think we have an opportunity here where people aren't going to the investment banks as much as they were in the past, but they're opening their eyes, and if they can understand that we're on the investment spectrum, it's an alternative there. We also need to reach out to other non-typical candidates, let's say underrepresented. We tend to recruit from our networks, and in commercial real estate, that network is really closed. It's mostly white males, all the research coming out. In brokerage, on the finance end, it could be all the way up to 90% at leadership white male. And we need to reach beyond those networks into the colleges, into other industries, to educate people that this is a great alternative to make money. We also need to pitch the industry as entrepreneurial. Millennials want entrepreneurialism, and it's very entrepreneurial. You talk to anybody, any broker out there, you're out there you're risking it, and if they're willing to risk it on an entrepreneurial venture, why not have one with a potentially lucrative value at the end of it? So that's one of the things we've learned, is we need to reach out differently. The other lesson we learned is that we need to make clear that we have training, mentorship, and a path for advancement. And that's got a lot of components in there, because if a young minority candidate comes in and they don't see anybody that looks like them in the upper management, they're not going to see a clear path of advancement. And well, we might not think about that when we're recruiting, but that's something that they're thinking about. One of our own company, we provided this online training. We actually invested in, and we have developed online training at all different levels, because they want training. They want to learn the skills. This whole idea that they want to skip everything and just work on their own, they want to have a clear training program with mentors. So implementing a mentor program. Young men put flexibility of work location and work hours as important, if not more important, than the young women did, which means flexibility is everybody's issue. It's no longer a women's issue. It's no longer a parental issue, because you hear a lot of parents versus people without kids, who gets flexibility. We broke it down into two different parts. There's flexibility of hours, what hours they work, and flexibility of location. And both groups, men and women, both felt that both were important. And not because they want to work less, it's because they want to work smart. They want to not be sitting in traffic at rush hour if they don't have to, if they can work from a client location, if they can work from home or a coffee shop. At our company, we have core hours where people all work together at certain times but then work on their own. So that flexibility hits all levels, and the biggest surprise was, for me, again, that it was gender neutral. So I think that bodes well for the workforce, and I think it's actually generation neutral, because if you really asked anybody, I think we would all enjoy a little flexibility, especially those of us who are Generation X and are dealing with aging parents as opposed to, kids. The other thing that stood out was the fact that 74% of the respondents, both male and female, said that they were interested in firms that had conscious capitalism programs. Now, conscious capitalism revolves around purpose, having a company with a purpose that's bigger than just to make money. It also helps improve the lives of everybody touching the company, from shareholders all the way down to the person in the communities that they're working in. And that was something that was so prevalent across almost everybody who responded to our survey, that I think firms have to think about this. We don't have to be Tom's of Maine or Patagonia, but there are other ways that we can participate in that, and that's something we've been looking at our company, specifically around the diversity issue. But having a purpose with your company is going to be more and more important as the millennials move into our industry.